Today we're going to take a look at the top 10 moments in Riverdale that made no sense. Riverdale is an ongoing American teen drama series that explores dark and weird happenings in a seemingly pleasant small town. The show first hit screens in January 2017. After 4 successful seasons totaling 76 episodes, it has been picked up for a 5th series that's due to air in January 2021. While the show has received many positive reviews, it is not without its flaws. There are plenty of moments throughout the first 4 seasons that have made viewers either scratch their heads in confusion or roll their eyes in disbelief. Welcome to our channel, and today we're introducing 10 moments in Riverdale that made no sense. Betty's phone. Whenever the Black Hood calls Betty from a blocked number, her phone plays the song Lollipop by the Chordettes. No other blocked number has this ringtone, and in previous episodes, Betty's ringtone was a generic sound. Although it makes for an excellent viewing, this makes no sense at all. For the effect to work, Betty herself would have had to assign the Lollipop ringtone to all unknown callers before she received the first threatening call. There's no way the Black Hood could have done it without stealing Betty's phone and getting caught. The show's writers clearly didn't think this one through. Penelope's burns.
Cheryl?
At the end of season 1, Penelope Blossom was severely burned in a house fire, and she spent the beginning of the following season covered in bandages. However, after just a few episodes, Penelope appeared uncovered with only a black glove on one arm said to hide burn marks. She had no facial scars, and her eyebrows were perfectly intact. Fans were quick to point out that such a swift, near-perfect recovery was highly unlikely, and even the actress who portrays her, Natalie Bolt, noted that Penelope had healed too quickly. Talking to E! News in 2018, Bolt said, "In my view, I recovered a little quickly from the burns. I would have liked to be like the Hound on Game of Thrones, like if half my face really had just been left burned and melted." Viewers have theorized that the burns disappeared simply because it would have been too expensive and time-consuming to apply the necessary makeup to the actress's face for each episode. Neighbors or not.
Book release party I organized by far. At the end of the night, Toni Morrison, who is, as you know, my literary hero, always says...
In the show, Betty Cooper and Archie Andrews are childhood friends. And one of the significant features of their relationship is the fact that they grew up living next door to each other. We even get to see Betty look out of her bedroom window directly into Archie's bedroom, which is only possible if they're actually next door neighbors. Yet, the exterior shots shown of both the Coopers and Andrews households don't seem to match up at all. The Andrews house is yellow and is located between a grey house and a blue house, whereas the Coopers' home is white and its only neighbor appears to be a light green house. Very confusing to anyone who pays the slightest bit of attention to these establishing shots. Twins in different years.
Can I join?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Another thing that appears to have been mishandled by Riverdale's writers is the age of the Blossom twins. In the first episode, Veronica, Archie, and Betty discuss how they're all about to be sophomores at Riverdale High. Later on, we discover that Cheryl Blossom is in the same class as those 3, meaning she is also a sophomore. However, as events transpire, we learn that Cheryl's missing twin brother, Jason, is in the same class as Betty's older sister, Polly. This means that she's in a different grade to his twin sister, Cheryl, which doesn't make sense. Some have speculated that Jason skipped a grade because he was so smart or that Polly was held back a year or 2. The fact that neither of those is mentioned, though, just makes us think that the writers goofed again. Who cares?
More troubled than usual.
It's time, girlie.
During season 2, Penelope Blossom sent her daughter, Cheryl, to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy for gay conversion therapy. After just a few days though, Tony, Veronica and Kevin rescued Cheryl from the group home and Cheryl went back to her mother. Was her mother angry? Did she attempt to punish her daughter further? No. Despite the expectations of many fans, Penelope just kind of shrugs it off and the show continues as if Cheryl's time in the home may as well never have happened. This leads the audience to question whether Penelope really ever cared and what the whole point of the ordeal was to begin with. And the Black Hood really is?
We have to leave. We have to go.
Betty! You made it home.
Your dad has some crazy idea to...
At the end of season 2, we find out that the Black Hood's real identity is Hal Cooper, Betty's father. Earlier that season, when Archie came face to face with the Black Hood, he noticed the killer's distinctive green eyes. This detail became the center of the investigation into the Black Hood's persona. Before the reveal, many had speculated that the Black Hood might be Hal, but because his eyes were different from those Archie had seen, they were not convinced. As it turns out, the sleuths were right, but why were they put off by the eyes? The reason for this is because the actor who plays Hal Cooper wasn't even the one wearing the mask at all. Confused? Well, it was in fact a stunt double. Lachlan Monroe, the actor who plays Hal, confirmed in an interview, "I've never worn the hood. I've never put it on. It's funny to me when people put my face next to the hood and they're like, it's Hal, for sure. It's exactly him. I don't know how people think that's me, but that's a stunt actor playing all of that stuff as the hood." Well, that's not fair now, is it? Miss Grundy.
Very real. Very personal.
I took your advice and wrote him down, polished him.
Anyone who's read the Archie comic book series will remember Miss Grundy as the gang's strict old teacher. The writers of the show decided to take her character in a whole other direction though. While the comic book hag would never have dreamed of getting intimate with one of her students, the on-screen version of Miss Grundy takes a particular liking to Archie, especially at the Sweetwater River on the night Jason was shot, if you know what we mean. Of course, the show is known for its darker, edgier take on things. But what compelled the writers to portray her in such a way, other than for more unnecessary drama? It has baffled many fans of the series. Mr. Shipping's death.
In fact, you have a visitor.
I'm Mr. Chipping. It's nice to meet you, Jughead.
Nice to meet you too.
Over the summer, you submitted a short story to a writing contest?
Another character who was treated pretty poorly in Riverdale was Mr. Shipping. At the start of season 4, we were introduced to Jughead's Stonewall prep teacher, played by actor Sam Witwer. However, in episode 6 of the same season, without warning, Mr. Shipping jumped through his office window to his death. The reason for his dramatic exit was never really explained and led fans to accuse the writers of giving up. Allegedly, even Witwer laughed upon seeing the script, which did not go down well with the production crew. Convenient willpower.
Oh my god.
Convenient plot points are a staple of all teen dramas, and they at least keep the story moving along. Sometimes, though, they can be hard to stomach, and if you question them at all, you'll just end up getting annoyed. Like when Clifford Blossom, a very unfriendly fellow notorious for his hatred of the Coopers, left a ridiculous stipulation in his will whereby anybody in Riverdale who could prove Blossom genes would be entitled to a share of his fortune. It makes no sense that Clifford would want to potentially leave any of his money to the Coopers, but it conveniently allowed Betty to test Chick's DNA right at the point when she suspected him. We're still shaking our heads at this one, but let's just move on. Hanging out with a corpse.
He didn't see you, did he?
And finally, in a fitting metaphor for the audience of Riverdale, okay, maybe that's a bit harsh, the show's not all bad. What was the deal with Cheryl hanging out with a corpse in season 4? And why, when she finally decided to let go of him after 2 years, did he look in better shape than he did in the pilot? You'd expect some severe decomposition after the length of time she'd been keeping him company. We understand that she was grieving, but the whole thing was just a bit too bizarre. There's loose speculation that the writers are going to try and bring Jason back somehow, and we wouldn't put it past them, but here's hoping they don't. So, are you a fan of the show? Which Riverdale moments have you struggled to make sense of? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, take a second to subscribe and turn on notifications. We upload entertaining lists regularly, and it'd be a shame for you to miss out. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.